is going to start recording. Hey, is Jim O'Neill here to start us in song? If not, I'm going to skip it and go right to our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Lord, you challenge us to feed the hungry and care for the sick, clothe the naked. And my goodness, that's such a tall order. Can we do all of that? Well, maybe not. But on the other hand, if you give us your light and your strength, we will do our best. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sue. Welcome all and welcome guests. I see online today we have Sue, Dale, Brenda, Bob Hansen, Francie's joining us, John, Lathrop, Richard, Larry, Jim, Jack, Sarah, Wendy, Rod, Ron, Nicole, Mike, Herzig, and Erica. Carol's just tuning in. And I wanted to honor our guest today, Mary Lou Smith, who is our presenter. Sue will be doing a more formal introduction. And then we get to hear from Mary Lou about Buena Vida Farms and the Hispanic Women Farming Proyecto. So really excited to hear about that. And I know, oh, did I miss Richard? Hi, Richard. Anybody else that I may have missed? Did I mention Larry's with us?
Martha.
Oh, Martha, are you joining us now?
Yeah, buenos días.
Buenos días. So happy to have you with us. Welcome. And I bet we'll have some more people pop on in just a moment.
Lisa.
Oh, Lisa's with us now too? Fantastic.
Yep.
There you are, Lisa. Welcome.
My Martha.
Ah, and there's Martha. I see you now. Fantastic. Oh, I think your photo is in the photo from the website, isn't it? I think that was you in the picture. We're going to cover some news and updates. Blood donations. Did anybody donate blood since our last meeting in December?
I did.
Is that Bob Hansen?
Bob Hansen.
Thank you, Bob. Anyone else? Okay. Next on our agenda is about the Emergency Relief Fund. Lathrop, would you like to share what's going on with that in the Rocky Mountain District?
Okay, I'll see if I can. The district is trying to raise money for use by the clubs in the area affected by the was it Marshall Fire, I guess is the name of the fire, for relief efforts that they're going to be doing there. So they were asking for donations to be made directly to the district foundation. And my thinking was that if we could channel those funds through our club foundation to the district foundation, then we could use that as a way of recognizing some of our members later on in the year with Lucy fellowships. So the thinking is that we would collect that money by the club. We need to get it in as soon as possible, and then get that to the district from the club foundation.
Very good. And the board did approve a donation from our club foundation for $2,000. So all of you that would like to do additional contributions, I know I told you to bring it today. Well, pop it in an envelope and send it on to Dan Hemphill. I will include that information. I did just send that out in an email, the address to get it to Dan and to make that check out to Eye Openers Foundation. Lathrop, you had said something about a matching donation. Are you still going to be taking care of that?
Yes, yeah, I said I would match anything up to $500.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. So please get that in the mail today if you could. so that we can send a larger check on to the Rocky Mountain District Foundation for the Emergency Relief Fund. And the focus of that money is to have the clubs help the area children and families who are impacted. So it does very much fit with our mission statement. Next up on our agenda is an invitation to join the PR committee. Yes, we are starting a PR committee. The members so far are Lisa, Wendy, Brenda, and yours truly. We are going to be meeting the third Tuesday of each month at 7 a.m. beginning on January 18th through Zoom. One of our first goals is to publish a monthly newsletter. Our first publication will be, our hope is to have it at each of the board meetings. So our first publication will be at, the business meeting following a board meeting will be at the first one will be February. So February, what is the date of that? Anyway, the business meeting in February, that's our goal. So if you're thinking you wanted to get engaged in a committee in the new year, that was one of your New Year's resolutions, here is your opportunity. You can message me in the chat if you're interested, or think about that and get back to me soon. Second Sunday. We are going to be meeting this Sunday at my home, and we will be working on alphabet flip books that will be given to the Children's Speech and Reading Center. Their executive director, Dave Boone, will be speaking at one of our meetings later in January. And did Jim O'Neill jump on? Because he had an update about Gingerbread House. I know he was planning on joining us. Does not look like Jim is here with us, so we'll need to wait. Is anybody from the Gingerbread House committee here that wants to share what they discussed at their debrief meeting? Okay, we'll wait till next.
Krista?
Who's talking to me?
I attended the meeting Tuesday night.
Yes.
There were just three of us, Dave and myself and Jim. And we just discussed what things we want to change for next year and what things we need to do that would make it better. I don't think there really was anything particularly exciting.
Okay.
We liked them all. We liked that space. We did not like having to move the structures. That's generally about it.
Thank you, Carol. Appreciate that.
Just three of us.
Okay. Volunteer opportunities. Vindicate Foods, we volunteer the last Sunday of each month from 1 to 3:30. The last time we did Vindicate, it was Carol and Steve. And Carol, you're the one set to volunteer January 30th. If anyone else would like to join Carol, please let us know. We would love to put you down for volunteering on January 30th.
Okay, you said I am on for January 30th?
You did sign up for January 30th.
When I got there last time at 1 o'clock, they said I was supposed to be there at noon.
Interesting.
They open at noon.
Okay. That
And
might be something we...
Steve was already there.
Interesting, because our sign up does say 1 to 3:30. They're saying we're now starting at noon.
Well,
I will look into that.
The first time I did it last year, it was at 1, but this time they said, oh no, you were supposed to be here at noon, and Steve was already there, so he got the message.
Okay, well, we'll double check that and confirm that next week, because that is a little bit of a confusion. We do have some time available to sign up for the mission. Let's see, January 10th, Dale and Steve are signed up. Dale,
Sounds
you're all
right.
set to, okay. And next week we'll pass around the sign up sheet. We're good to go up until June 13th. So we'll make sure that sign up gets passed around next time.
Hey, Krista.
Yes, Lisa.
Krista, Wendy said count her in for January 30th with Carol.
With Vindicate, thank you. We'll put you down. Thank you so much, Wendy. Okay. MS Walk, I will make sure that there are the sign-up links available in our minutes. That's going to be May 22. And we'd love to have you join the team. Next up is Nappy Project. The food bank is going to be hosting wrap sessions on the fourth Monday of each month from 10 o'clock to 11:30. If you are interested in volunteering for January 24th, I was planning on passing around a sign-up sheet, but you can let me know in the chat if you would like to volunteer for a wrap session. That will be at the food bank on North College Avenue.
Here's my,
Blue Spruce.
here's my question.
Yes.
Krista, which food bank is that happening at?
The one off of Blue Spruce. I see Francie wants to do that. It's the one we did it the last time, Carol.
Yeah, I can do that.
Awesome. Anybody else that's interested, go ahead and put that in the chat. Sue, do you want me to put you down? They're looking for 10 volunteers. And so please let me know if you don't get it in the chat today. And you want to think about that, you can email me as well. So far I have Francie, Carol, and Sue.
What's the date?
January 24th. That's a Monday. Next up, I know that our SLPs are just now getting back into school. Did any of them meet this week? CKI, did they meet yet? Or do you know when they're meeting next?
Oh, they're not in school yet.
Okay. Key clubs, Rocky Mountain. Any updates?
Rocky Mountain didn't meet this Monday, so next week.
Okay. Fossil? Jim, do you know anything?
No, I'm not sure when they meet again. Have they opened up? Are they back in school?
They did start back Tuesday.
Okay.
Fort Collins will meet next Tuesday. Liberty Commons.
Checking to see if they meet today. I don't know yet. I'm waiting to hear.
I think they plan to. They're going to finish up preparing our materials for Second Sunday. So hopefully they're meeting to finish that up. CEC?
Next week.
Very good. Builders, any news?
Just getting the paperwork through the school.
Okay, beautiful. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about at our business meeting next week about our SLPs. Okay, next up, our program. Welcome, yes. Mary Lou Smith. Sue, tell us a little bit about Mary Lou and Martha.
Well, I think as Martha's here right today, Mary Lou, and I don't know if Rebecca logged on, but they are the two participants at the Buena Vida farm in Windsor. They are from Mexico and both have daughters at UNC and CSU. Mary Lou is a co-owner of the Buena Vista farm near Windsor, and she launched the Hispanic Women's Project to give Spanish-speaking immigrant women a chance to learn about agriculture while growing vegetables to sell. Let's welcome Mary Lou.
Hey. Good morning. I am impressed with your group and all that you're doing. I've been in Fort Collins almost 50 years, so some of your names are familiar to me and your faces. Let me tell you a bit about our project, and then Marta and maybe Rebecca, if she comes, will tell you their experience with the project. The two of them do not speak English, but they are starting English classes January 18th at Front Range Community College. So that will make it easier for them to take on a more of a management role of our project in the future years. When I retired from CSU in 2019, I became more involved with the farm project that we've had here at Buena Vida Farm. We've grown blue spruce trees for the wholesale trade for many years, and we began to dabble in vegetables just a little, and built what you call a high tunnel, which is not a greenhouse because it's not heat controlled, but it gives you more time to grow early in the season and late in the season. So I was just, when I left CSU, and my work was totally in water and resolving conflict with groups of stakeholders regarding water, like ag, urban, environmental, both throughout the state of Colorado and the Colorado River Basin states. I was ready to set aside water and get involved with immigrant issues, and especially women immigrants and Spanish speaking, because I wanted to improve my Spanish. And I've always been involved with Hispanic folks in my volunteer work for many years. So I began helping with teaching an English class in Greeley to Spanish speaking folks. And that first year, I just had so many green chilies that I could not get rid of them all. I had a whole high tunnel full of green chilies, and I took some of them to give away at the class. And out of that came the idea that maybe there would be women, immigrant women who wanted to learn to farm, and they could grow the chilies and other vegetables, and then they could sell them and make the money from the vegetables, because I wasn't growing the vegetables to make money. I was growing the vegetables for fun. So out of that came the birth of the Hispanic Women's Farming Proyecto. And the first full year was the pandemic. And we had one full-time woman from Guatemala, Nora, and several part-time women who would come and help when at really busy times, like planting and harvesting. And the photo that you see there is a picture of Nora on the left, who worked full-time last year, and then Marta on the right, who worked as needed. And we, at that point in that picture, were giving out deliveries of folks who had signed up to come through a drive-in sale that we did in cooperation with a group called Fuerza Latina. And people bought their tamales and our vegetables and drove through. Because of the pandemic, we couldn't have an one-on-one. And so out of that grew a lot of interest in what we are doing. So that was the first year. The second year, I realized that our farm could not support the project long term, because I wanted these women to be making a good return on their investment of time. So I set about finding a 501c3 sponsor, a group that would be the umbrella for our project. And they're called our fiscal sponsor. So we found Fort Collins Community Action Network, and you may want to look them up on your Google. They do a lot of wonderful things in the community, a lot of it for immigrants and other projects. And Fuerza Latina is one of the groups for which they are the fiscal sponsor. So to make a long story short, we, with the fiscal sponsor, began reaching out to bring in grant funds. And we did bring in grant funds. I have quite an experience in my background at CSU going after grants. So we were able to find grant funding for what we established as an educational program for immigrant women to learn about agriculture so that they could gain confidence, they could gain skills, and they could have the enjoyment of and the financial return of growing vegetables and selling them. So this was our first year as the nonprofit, and each of the women was part of our educational program. We brought in professors from CSU and area farmers to teach various aspects, such as soil health, pests and diseases, food safety, water conservation, irrigation, and bookkeeping for a farm operation. The women were given a stipend for that effort of $5,000 apiece. And then they also got to keep the return of the vegetables they sold. Our farm contributed the land, the water, use of the tools, use of our high tunnel, and my time. So we had a wonderful, wonderful season. All 4 women are scheduled to come back again this coming year, and we are going to increase our acreage, and we're going to add 2 women. So it's been a really great project. My Spanish has improved about 300%. I would like to say that the women too are learning to do more of the work. They do all the work for growing the vegetables themselves, but they're beginning to take on the responsibility for keeping the financial records. They actually worked themselves on a grant proposal that one organization allowed us to do it in Spanish, and they did the proposal themselves and they got the funding. So they're learning business management, they're learning marketing, and they're gradually taking over all of these aspects so that I'm just gradually trying to go back into the background and not be the face of the organization. The biggest thing holding us back at this point is language, and they are working on learning English, so that will be helpful. What I'd like to do is, let's see, I'm seeing that Martha is here, but I'm not seeing that Rebecca is, but what I'd like to do.
I saw Rebecca here.
Oh, you did see Rebecca?
Rebecca is here.
I'm not
She's certainly
seeing.
muted. She's
there
right.
she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Rebecca, when you want to, you can show your face by clicking on video and unmute yourself. But meanwhile, let us ask Marta to speak to us in Spanish. And what we're going to do is Marta's going to say a few sentences, and I'm going to listen carefully, and then I will translate what she said. And that's how we'll get across what these women would like to tell you about their experience. Por eso es su turno hablar, Marta. Por favor, diga a la gente sobre su experiencia en el proyecto.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Marta Espinosa y estoy colaborando con Mary Lou en el proyecto de Women's Hispanic Project. Y ha sido fabuloso para mí como persona aprender de la agricultura, de, participar en este proyecto y ha sido muy beneficioso poder, junto con otras 3 compañeras, hacer este proyecto y sacarlo adelante, aprender a cosechar, a cultivar, a cuidar y a vender el producto.
Okay. So what Martha said is that she feels emotional about having had the opportunity to work with the other 3 women to grow these crops and to sell them, to be part of all the aspects of the farm, of the vegetable farming. Otra cosa, Marta?
Mi deseo es de que este programa crezca y que incluyamos a más personas y tanto las mujeres como el programa de los niños aumente y seamos beneficiados todos por el programa. Y gracias por permitirme participar y ser partícipe de él. Y estoy emocionada.
Martha reminded me to tell you about our children's program. Last year, we had 6 to 8 children come on 3 different occasions. The first occasion, they got to learn about various winter squash and summer squash varieties. They got to choose which seeds they wanted to plant. They planted them. Then they came back a month later and learned which weeds were encroaching on their squash plants, and they got to identify the names of the weeds and to pull them up. The third time they came and they harvested their squash. So it was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for these children, again, immigrant children. And this year, Martha alluded to the program. I'm just telling you more about it. This year, we got a grant, from a 2-year grant from the Colorado Department of Agriculture to expand this program such that the children, we will have 6 children, they will be coming each week for 10 weeks on Mondays. And the 4-H of Larimer County is going to work with us and help us provide the curriculum. One of our participants is from Guatemala, is a school teacher. So she's going to work with the 4-H to develop and present the curriculum. So we're proud of this children's aspect as well. ¿Quiere hablar un poquito más, Marta, antes de Rebeca?
Pues gracias por la oportunidad y la importancia de darle a los productos libres de químicos, libres de pesticidas y gracias, solamente gracias y esperemos de que el programa crezca y sigamos cultivando y cosechando sueños, vegetales y más.
Okay. Martha said, thank you for the opportunity to talk to you about the project, and that we are hoping that the project will grow, offer more opportunities for more immigrant women. I will mention a couple of the women have been in the US for some time, but the women from Guatemala have come in more recent times and actually have children back in Guatemala that they're helping support. So it's been interesting to learn about the immigrant situation. It's different for those who are here and have been here a while than those who've come more recently. I'm really proud of the women whose families have made it possible for their children to stay engaged and to become involved with the DACA program. And so that's a good, I don't know if you know about DACA, I bet you do, Deferred Action for Children of, Deferred Action for Children of parents who've come to the country illegally and are in the country illegally, but whose children know no other place. And so two of our, Rebecca's two daughters are both in the DACA program. So I'm going to see if I see Rebecca is on, but we don't see her face.
I'm here, Mary Lou, because my cell phone don't work.
Okay, so Rebecca is going to speak to us, and I'm going to give me a moment to turn up my volume so that I can hear Rebecca really well and do some translations. Okay, Rebecca, tell me what you would like for the people to hear and I will translate. Rebecca, háblame que usted quiere para la gente a oír.
Antes que nada, buenos días. Quiero pedir una disculpa porque no sirve mi cámara.
Good morning, she said, and I'm sorry that I'm not being very successful with my camera. Okay. Hola.
Hola, buenos días.
Aquí es Eva. She is known here as Eva because she's using her daughter's camera.
Yes.
Buenos días, Rebecca. Por favor, diga a la gente sobre su experiencia.
Bueno, para mí, antes que nada, quiero decir que ha sido un aprendizaje. He aprendido mucho y gracias a este programa, a este proyecto de mujeres hispanas, he aprendido un oficio. He aprendido cómo cuidar, querer la tierra. He aprendido mucho.
Rebecca is saying that the program for her is an opportunity to learn. And she pointed out that she's learned a lot about the land and what the land needs to be healthy. Más.
He aprendido la importancia de que nosotros comamos y cultivemos las frutas libre de químicos, perdón.
Sí. She's learned a lot about what it means to grow vegetables without chemicals. We're not organic because we don't have certification, but we do grow our vegetables without chemicals. And that's important to her and feels good to her as she serves her family, the foods that we grow.
Para mí ha sido muy gratificante este programa porque he podido compartir con mis demás compañeras hispanas.
She loves the program because it has given her an opportunity to work very closely and to become very deeply acquainted with these other 3 Hispanic women in very similar situations to hers.
Hemos podido aprender todas muchas cosas gracias a la señora Mary Lou, que creó ese programa, el que nos dio un oficio, el que nos enseñó y el que nos ayuda a poder nosotros vender el producto de nuestro trabajo.
She's so thankful for the opportunity that the farm has given her to learn these things and then to sell these vegetables.
Por ello, yo estoy muy contenta, me siento incluida y sobre todo siento que hay una oportunidad para mí y para nuestras compañeras en este país.
Okay. Rebecca says she feels so included, that being a part of this project makes her feel included in something in this country in a way that is not easy to do when you're not part of the typical Anglo group. And I think I'll expand on that a little bit. These women are having opportunities to speak to groups like yours. And this has been very good for groups like yours to realize that there are a lot of immigrant women in this community who haven't had the opportunity to expand their skills. And this is an opportunity that has been confidence building and that has helped them to realize that, I can do more. I can reach out more. And so I think do either Marta o Rebecca tiene más hablar o es todo?
Oh, yo sí quiero decir algo más. Quiero agradecer su tiempo, el que nos escuchen, pero sobre todo que nos ayuden a que este programa continúe, porque es una gran oportunidad para nosotras, las mujeres hispanas, que venimos a este país a trabajar y a cultivar vegetales libre de químicos para ofrecerlos a su mesa.
Okay. Rebecca said she's thankful that you all are interested in hearing about our project and your interest in what we're doing. Marta, ¿quiere hablar un fin?
Ya Rebeca dijo lo justo. Gracias por la oportunidad y esperamos recibir apoyo tuyo y de la demás grupos de la comunidad y esperamos seguir trabajando y aprendiendo cada día más y que el conocimiento siga llevarlo a otras familias y seguir creciendo y que nos sigan apoyando.
Again, Martha, thank you for inviting us and that we hope to continue what we're doing and to reach out in a way that is useful to even more families than we have in the past.
Yeah.
So with that, Sue, I think that's our presentation.
Well, thank you so much, Mary Lou.
And we open it up to questions at this time.
If you want to ask questions, I will then translate into Spanish those that you want to ask of Marta or Rebecca, or I'll answer in English if you want to ask me a question.
I'm looking for hands or... Oh,
I just have a comment. I'm so excited to know about this project, and I'm just tell them to be brave and just keep going. And this is so exciting that they want to learn so much and how it's grown, like just those organic grassroots kind of things that come up and create something so beautiful like this. It's just wonderful. So I just want to tell them to, forge forward and conquer new things.
Gracias. Marta y Rebecca, ella dice que ella tiene mucho entusiasmo para nuestro proyecto y ella tiene mucho orgullo en ustedes y que usted está haciendo.
Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you.
Sue, go ahead.
Yes, Mary Lou, where can we buy the vegetables?
¿Dónde es posible comprar las verduras? Pues, where is it possible to buy the vegetables? Well, at this point, we don't have a way for a typical individual to buy vegetables, but we will probably keep working on that. At this point, people, we sold $13,000 worth of vegetables this year through the Boulder Farmers Market. They have an online program, and people bought our vegetables online, and then they picked them up in Longmont, Boulder, Denver. But there wasn't a pickup spot in Fort Collins. But we may be able to work on that next year. But another huge portion of what they sold this year, they sold their Cherokee purple tomatoes, as much as 200 pounds a week. Whoa. To Morning Fresh Dairy. And Morning Fresh Dairy delivered their tomatoes to their door-to-door customers this year. But you know what we can do, Sue, is next year when we had 2 or 3 opportunities where the women had their table of vegetables available, as you know, at that event at the Sugar Beet Park. When that happens, we will make sure that you can tell your members about that so they can buy vegetables at that point.
Be happy to.
We have found that the farmers markets are way too much trouble for the return for what you bring in. There's so much competition, and so we haven't sold at farmers markets.
Mary Lou, how many acres do you farm right now?
You know, we have 10 acres, but most of that is in the blue spruce trees. We had a 1/3 acre of vegetables this year, but we could grow 2 or 3 acres worth, but we have to keep it small enough for the women that we have.
Mary Lou, I missed in the beginning. How did you get this farm? How did you get this land to use?
Well, I own the land.
Oh, okay.
This is farmland that I own with my husband, and again, we each have our own careers, and we've enjoyed the farm, and we have the blue spruce nursery on the farm and sell the trees wholesale, but the vegetables have been more for fun, and it's too much work to try to make a living off of that. So we decided, instead of our making a living off of it, we wanted these women to be able to support themselves. Each of these women has other full-time work, either full-time or part-time. One of them has her own cleaning business. Rebecca makes and sells tamales from her home. Cilda works bussing tables at a local restaurant. And Marta is the nanny for a couple of children of physicians in Greeley who want their children to learn Spanish. So these women only come to the farm on Mondays to do the work, except for later in the season, they end up coming extra hours here and there between their work schedules. But this is all work that they do in addition to the way that they make their living.
Do you have a contact for Rebecca? I love tamales.
I would love to make. Rebecca, ella quiere conocer cómo vender o comprar sus tamales. Por eso yo voy a dar su información a ella para ese. I told her that I'm going to give her contact information in case any of you want to buy her tamales.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And Mary Lou, if you would include your contact information, I will share the website with everybody, but I've had people say in the chat that they'd love to be able to contact you later. So if we could have your email address also, that would be appreciated. We're so thrilled to hear about this. And I wanted to share, I'm especially excited to hear about what you're doing with the children. How cool. And I bet that's going to continue to grow and expand, because getting those kids out there and seeing how food is grown, it just doesn't show up in the grocery store. It's got to start somewhere.
Yes.
And how empowering for them to see that.
Yeah. I will also, I have sent to Sue a flyer that is more current than the flyer on our website. The website needs, use the new flyer. It'll give you more information.
Wonderful. And Sue, if you could take a photograph of that and text it to me, I will include that in the notes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions before we?
Mary Lou, this is Barry Howell, and I have a question. You've got a great program here. I just love what you're doing and what it accomplishes. But I thought, as I watch this, is there any way to take additional women, whether it's women in the community that are would like to integrate into your program, working with the ladies that you have here doing the farming with local people, to just give them it just intertwines them, so to speak, into the community.
What a wonderful question, Larry. What I think you're asking is if we might have some means of having the women in our program get to know women in the community who are interested in our program, to have sort of a multicultural sharing. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. That's correct, Mary Lou.
Well, I'll give that some thought, and Sue, maybe we could work on something like that.
Perhaps.
One idea that I had last year when I was talking to folks from Rotary, and we haven't done it yet, but we could have a salsa making event where some of the women from the community who want to communicate and get to know these women could come, and we could all make salsa together from the ingredients from our farm.
I love the idea. That's wonderful.
That sounds like a great idea, Mary Lou. But and then it brings in more ideas, I believe, of how to distribute your produce. There's many other ways. I mean, I grow a big garden, and I know there's a big need out there for fresh vegetables for our local people as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of you using Sugar Beet Park because I live nearby.
Yep.
Very cool. Well, Mary Lou, thank you so very much. In addition to your email, I would appreciate an address to send you a thank you note. So when you share that information with Sue, she can get that on to me. And
John Crowfoot wants to speak too.
Oh, John, go right ahead before I say goodbye to Mary Lou.
Hello, Mary Lou. This is John Crowfoot, treasurer for our Kiwanis Club. My question has nothing to do with the treasuryship. Perhaps you'd be a Kiwanian too. But my main question is the Buena Vida farm in Windsor strictly for ladies' labor, female labor, Hispanic female labor, or with an acre's worth of garden, it needs a lot of weeding, and I don't know how 3 people 1 day a week get that done. So my question is, we do work for people, we give of our time, we don't just give money like the Rotary. We give of our time and our resources. And we might want to come out and weed. Would that be possible?
Well, John, yes, I am going to keep that in mind, because so here's how that could work. At times when the women are being overcome with so much to do, and it often happens at harvest time, we could invite some of you to come help us harvest.
Oh,
I love that idea. And it goes along with what Larry was saying about incorporating the larger community into our project. So yes, I'm going to make note of that, John. Thank you.
And we do have men and women in our club.
And men.
And
we
and
could
any
have,
of them could come.
we could have men on those occasions. They're not part of the main project, but we could certainly have men volunteering. Yep.
Oh, that's wonderful. Mary Lou, Rebecca, and Martha, thank you so very much. Let's give them a warm Kiwanis thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay on if you like as we finish up our meeting. But again, thank you so much. We're going to finish up with Happy Dollars and announcements. Some quick announcements before we jump into Happy Dollars. And maybe this should be my Happy Dollar. Michael Baker is with us today.
Yeah.
And that's my Happy Dollar right there. He just moved back 2 weeks ago from South Carolina. And he's ready to join our club again. So I'll be following up with him. So that is a huge. Woo, woo, woo. I'm getting some feedback.
Welcome, Michael.
Welcome,
Mike, you want to
Michael.
say anything? Are you still here?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay, Michael.
Yes. Just wanted to say hi. Thought I'd hop on the call this morning while I was doing some work this morning. But yeah, Lexi and I just moved back. My wife got a job working for the city of Fort Collins in the wellness department. So she moved us back. I get to keep my job from South Carolina working remotely.
Nice.
So I'll have plenty of time to hop back in and volunteer somewhere.
Yay.
Very glad to hear you back, Michael. Thank you.
Very excited. And maybe we could, are you going to be connected with the Boy Scouts still?
Nope,
Nope.
I'm not involved with scouting at all. I actually work for a company called UST Select. We do last mile deliveries for large, heavy, bulky packages. And I'm one of the data analysts and invoice tracking, and do all of our coordinating of travel teams and stuff. So I've completely moved away from Boy Scouts.
Gotcha. Well,
Maybe we can have a beer sometime, Mike.
If we lose
hold you
our
to that, John.
packages, we can call you.
No.
Okay. And another announcement I forgot to mention, that our program next week is our business meeting where we will be voting on the bylaws. I did make copies to hand out today. I will send electronic copies in the along with the minutes. So please review those. I will also attach the updated policies and procedures, but we'll only be voting on the bylaws to then send off to KI for final approvals. And even more important, we'll be doing Wendy's induction next week. So very excited about that. And Jim O'Neill jumped on late. Jim, Carol did share a little bit that came out of your meeting on Tuesday. Did you want to say anything about Gingerbread House before we go into Happy Dollars?
Well, I'm sorry I'm late. We got to Seattle about 1 o'clock last night and set my alarm. And of course I got it on silent. So woke up about 6:15. Anyway, we made about $14,200 and we had a debrief meeting. And if anybody else has any comments on what went right or what you'd like to see us change for next year, please let me know, because I'll be working pretty soon on the flyer for next year. So I thank everyone's for their participation. I think we had a great event. So thank you.
And Jim, thank you for all your hard work that went into that. That was an amazing event. Really appreciate it. Happy Dollars. John's got a hand up.
Have a happy dollar. I am so glad to see Michael Baker back. I've missed him. He's a real delight and a treat for our club. And so Michael, can you give me your phone number?
We'll let them take care of that in the chat.
Yes, I'll chat it over to you.
Okay, thanks.
Other happy dollars?
I have a happy dollar, Jack Gianola. I'm a happy dollar for the nice job that the gingerbread committee did. Thanks, Jim.
This is Larry Howell. I have a happy dollar. Like I say, having Michael Baker come back, what a treat. What a treat that will be. And for the program today, I think it's awesome. That's the direction of our Kiwanis Club and what we stand for and what we should be looking at. And Jim, thank you so much for all your work and effort that you put in for Gingerbread House. With that, Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you, Larry. Oh, Nicole threw a happy dollar into the chat. Happy dollar for our big Lamungo fundraiser. We raised over $13,000. Congratulations. That is exciting news. Anyone else? Well then, I'm gonna finish up with another reason why we love Kiwanis. Kiwanis helps kids around the world. Local clubs look out for the community, and the international organization takes on larger scale challenges such as fighting disease and poverty. And with that, going once, going twice. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Stay warm.